Okay, so can you tell me your position, degree, and what all you do, such as teaching coach?
Okay, my degree is Bachelor of Science in Education, certified K through 12 PE, health, and I have coaching certification. And I teach secondary PE, teach health, teach computers and keyboarding, and I teach 10th grade Bible class, and I coach junior high boys and girls basketball, assistant senior high boys basketball. I do senior high boys and girls tennis, and I do all the track teams here.
Okay. How was your internship, and how do you think it has helped you now?
I loved my internship. I was at Jonesboro Public Schools, and honestly, this job is it's different than that job, but what was good about where I was at was basically everybody that I worked under told me that if you can handle where you're at, like if you can handle working here, you'll be good anywhere you go. Because it was huge classes. Elementary, I had about 40 kids in the gym at once, and I was a micro society, which is kind of a lower socioeconomic school. I had a lot of discipline issues every day, but I mean it was tough, but it helped me. And then I was at MacArthur, loved it there. I had a good structured system that Coach Moore already had implemented. So we got to, we used the gym one week, and then we go to the weight room the next week. And he pretty much just gave me the reins and let me do everything. So I mean, it was a good experience. It definitely prepared me for pretty much anything.
Okay. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing, and I hope everybody that gets into teaching feels this way. My favorite thing is like the relationships you get to build with certain students, specifically students who don't have maybe a dad or any kind of really solid home life. And it's just such a good opportunity to get to really invest in those kids' lives. So that's my favorite part, is really just the relationships I've got to build. My least favorite part is probably just how busy I always am here, because you're at a small school. I mean, like I told you, I got to do 50 different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a lot of time, and I'm married now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have an off season, because it's tennis, and then it's basketball, and then it goes straight into track. So I don't really have an off season ever.
Mm-hmm.
In the summer, small school, you do a lot of summer camps, team camps. So I guess my least favorite thing is the amount of time it takes to do everything at a small school.
Okay. After interning at such a large school, other than size, what do you feel is the biggest difference?
The biggest difference for me, well, really just for this school in particular, is it's a private school,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a Christian school. So there's a lot of things that are different. I mean, curriculum is different. I mean, we're still under Common Core guidelines,
Mm-hmm.
but we use different books. All of our books are faith-based books. So that's been the biggest difference, really, is like everything we do here, whether it's athletics, class, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
everything has like a biblical foundation to it. And that's what that's one thing that drew me here, because I was in ministry before this.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was like a cool opportunity for me to do ministry and teach and coach.
Yeah.
So kind of all my passions were together. So that's been the biggest difference, is really just like, I guess, the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the freedom to talk about your faith, but it's like almost it's a requirement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest difference. And I mean, there are opportunities. I had opportunities when I was interning to talk to kids when they brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
But here, faith is such a big part of my life. Like, it's hard for it not to not come up in conversation. So it's really cool here, because I get to do that every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish you would have done in college that would have benefited you now as a teacher or a coach?
Okay, the same thing that everybody told me to do, which was get certified in different areas, like not just PE, not just PE and health. And I mean, I was fortunate. A lot of people aren't fortunate to get a job at a place they want to be, or some people don't get a job their first year anyway, because they can't. There's not a ton of PE jobs anywhere, really. Because if you think about it, coaches usually teach PE, and coaches a lot of times, get somewhere and they keep that job and they stay there for years. Whereas other subjects, a lot of times teachers are moving and getting out of school, and because they're not really attached to maybe an athletic program. So, just job search wise, man, it if you can be certified in multiple things, even if it's like just social studies, something like that, that's what I would do different. Because right now I'm going to start my master's, but before that I'm going to try to get certified and take the praxis for something else, just to be certified. So that's what I would do. I would try to get certified in as many subjects as I can before I get a job, or at least when you get your first job, I would do it.
Yeah.
I really would.
What are some tips on classroom management that you can share with me that I may use in the future?
Well, the biggest number one thing, and wherever you end up teaching, they'll probably have rules on it. Just with both cell phones are the biggest problem, and like I said, schools usually have a rule where you're not supposed to take the phone out in class, but man, kids are always gonna do that, and they're gonna be having it out here. So what I do, I have a little box in front of the room. They got to come in and put their phone in the box. So I never have phone issues if they put the phone in the box. And the biggest thing I can tell you, classroom management wise, is whatever grade you have, doesn't matter if it's elementary or secondary, you can always get nicer as you go. You can't. The other way does not work. If you come in week one and you're having a great time and they love you and they think you're awesome, but you're not very strict and you're lenient, you're letting things go, or you're just kind of letting them do whatever they want, or you're trying to be maybe their buddy, and then later on when there's issues and you try to be a disciplinarian, it doesn't work. Like they don't believe you. Now the opposite's true. Now I had an issue with that with one class last year, my first year, but this year was totally different. I kind of came in, and I wasn't really mean, but it was almost like borderline. Like they knew that I'm the teacher, you're the student. This is how things are ran. If you don't do it this way, you're going to get in trouble, or you're not going to get a good grade, or whatever it is. And now, as the years gone on, I can kind of loosen the reins and let them do more things. But if I have to lower the hammer, they know who's in charge. So that's the biggest thing. Don't be too nice up front. It's hard. It's hard for me because I want to be, I want to invest in these kids.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to hate me as a teacher or think I'm a jerk and not listen to anything I say to them because of that. But you can't come in and be their friend up front like that, because then you'll lose the class. But that's the biggest classroom management thing I can tell you.
Okay, that's all the questions I have for you. So thank you for your time and everything.
What teacher's this for?
Huckabee.
This is Kevin Frisbee. This better be the best interview you ever heard. All right, Whitney's doing a great job.